Hello everyone, and welcome to two games today where we're going to watch a couple of games of the Mayans versus the Huns. We'll have TaToH and DauT playing in both of these games, and they'll switch saves between the first game and the second game. I don't know if these games were played back to back, but I found them in my recorded games folder. I just found a couple of Men-at-Arms Rex and figured, oh, these are the same build, let's look at them and compare how things go. But basically, we're going to be having DauT here in the left corner of the map playing as the cyan Mayans, and TaToH in the opposite corner playing as the red Huns. And TaToH, of course, as the Huns, generally scouts is a pretty good strategy. You know, kind of regardless of the map, it's always something you can go, unless you have like some really weird map and need to be even more aggressive. But scouts normally is pretty standard for the Huns, and Men-at-Arms pretty standard for the Mayans as well. And this, I guess, is the King of the Desert 2 version of Arabia because they have these little goats running around. And there's probably some camels out here on the map somewhere. Oh yeah, these camels. They just stand around and do nothing. But anyway, you see DauT will be going for the standard 6 on sheep. Of course, as the Mayans, you start with 4 villagers, so the first thing you do is research loom and queue up a villager right after that. If you're really quick, you can click the create villager button or press the hotkey as you're clicking loom, and it'll actually queue it up for you. But that might be a bit too much micro for Lord and Savior over here. And you see him moving the villagers between the goats as he's moving out to a lumber camp, and we'll see just the standard 6 on sheep, 4 on wood. That's how you go for Men-at-Arms with pretty much... Well, I guess some civs can actually go through on wood. Mines might actually be a civ where you consider doing that sometimes. But it's one of the tricky things you have to remember as the Mayans is that your food runs out more slowly because it lasts longer, which means you need to be very careful about how you take the boar, because if you spend too much time taking your sheep, even though in total you'll gather more food, it'll come in later because you move to the boar later. And so you just need to be extra careful that you put enough villagers on the boar that you can still click up to the feudal age at the right time. You normally probably see 23 pop Men-at-Arms with the Mayans just because you start with that extra villager, and it's the same time as a normal 22 pop build. But we'll see 4 on wood after putting 6 on sheep, then hunting the boar and moving out to build houses and take the berries. Built the house over here by his lumber camp. Looks like he'll probably try to wall down here, over here, and then kind of play some walls across the front of his map as he's now milling the berries and hunting the boar. And TaToH, on the other hand, ooh, we see him pushing the zebra. Of course, King of the Desert 2, you always start with 3 very, very pushable zebra. And he's just going for 3 on woods, so he'll definitely be going for scouts. And pretty much just standard 6 on sheep, 3 on wood, take the boar, hunt the zebra. And we see he's not going for the mill yet because he's using the villagers to stay under the town center and collect the zebra, as he'll bring in that second boar. And we got lots of these nice birds flying around. So many of those. You see he shoots it once, shoots it twice. Nice thing about what he did there is he waited to shoot it twice until the villager was off the hill, just making extra sure that it doesn't take any downhill attack from the boar. Did misclick and turn the villager into a shepherd though. Just thankfully she didn't decide to turn around and fight the boar. Sometimes they do that if you turn them into another role. But there you go, nice second boar from TaToH. Still hasn't built the mill, but he'll get there eventually. Just really wants all those villagers to take the zebra. So looks like he pushed in 2 of those 3 and has just now started to scout the map. Looks like he did a good job finding his goats really early on, so he had time to scout those zebra. So like about 6 minutes and he's already found everything, pushed 2 zebra, and is moving out. Bit of idle time on those villagers though, Tati. There we go. Now he's just gonna go over to wood again, as DauT has done pretty much just the standard. Take the 4 on wood, put 4 on berries, start walling up, leave the villager out there to build the barracks. And see, a bit of idle time on those villagers too. Unfortunately, villagers just kind of stand around idle when they finish the boar. They don't automatically go to take the next one. So you just gotta be aware of that. And now he's sending a couple more villagers out to wood. One of the small variations in Men-at-Arms builds is how many villagers do you actually send to wood. Sometimes you will see the second lumber camp. Sometimes you'll see only 3 on wood from the beginning if you want to try to click up quickly. That can make it a bit hard to get the barracks down though. And the other thing is no farms from him yet, because he needs that wood to build the barracks, and he's also going to need it for that mining camp. So we see 2 more vills, will go up on 23 population, 2 on gold, 4 on berries. Most of the vills under the TC right now, and he'll have a few on wood. And TaToH, on the other hand, he's just going for pretty much a 20 pop-up build for scouts, which is fairly standard. He's putting down 2 farms, and he's able to do that since he only built 1 lumber camp. Had he built a second lumber camp already, then would have been pretty hard to afford both those farms and the barracks and stable. You see, I guess he probably knows DauT's going for men-at-arms at this point. And he's building the barracks really, really back defensively, so probably just doesn't want it to be denied in case there's already stuff running across the map that he hasn't scouted. And ideally, I think if you see that your opponent isn't going for something aggressive, you maybe try to get it out further in front of the gold, and a play in front of the gold more instead of back here. Anyway, pretty much standard from TaToH. 2 farms, 4 on berries. The only thing that's kind of different is this 1 lumber camp, but it does save you a bit of wood, let you get the stable up on the lower population. It really only has 1 good wood line anyway, so kind of the 1 lumber camp low population build works out. So he immediately will throw down the stable. And DauT, if he hasn't scouted that, he will at least know he's going for scouts, as he has 2 men-at-arms out now, and he's queuing 4 men-at-arms. I think probably the common men-at-arms build we see is 3, as he now has 6 on wood. There's 3 men-at-arms, but he's going for the 4. And the other thing we're going to see is he knows that, has he scouted that stable? Yeah, now he's definitely seen the stable, and he knows that scouts are coming. He will have 4 men-at-arms to fight them off, as he's completely walled down here. And now just will need to finish a wall. I guess he'll try to go up there to finish the wall. Then he'll be completely and fully walled. And if you take a look at his barracks, the first thing he does is he queues up a spearman. Now you might be thinking, why is he not doing the men-at-arms upgrade? Well, he knows that TaToH is going for scouts right now. Ooh, and he's going to take the fight. So the scout in the feudal age is both faster and stronger than the eagle, so if DauT tries to run away, the scout will just kill it anyway, so he's just going to take a fight here, take as much HP off of that scout as possible. But DauT did make the spearman first, because if you're going to do men-at-arms and a spearman, it's faster to get both of them done if you get the spearman out first. So the spearman, not only do you have to create it, but you also have to walk it across the map. So if you do the men-at-arms upgrade first, you're doing the upgrade, then creating the spearman, then walking the spearman across the map. Whereas if you do the spearman first, you're creating the spearman and then walking it across the map at the same time as you're doing the men-at-arms upgrade. So you can get your army together a lot more quickly if you do the spearman first. And he's leaving a bit of a hole here, but that doesn't really matter because he has the spearman and the men-at-arms. And he's doing double bit axe, delaying the men-at-arms upgrade because he doesn't need to fight with them now. He knows that the spearmen are enough to keep the scouts away, and now he is fully walled. And it's really great that he's made the transition not to do the upgrade immediately, because he knows that he doesn't need to fight yet. And if you look at what TaToH is doing, he sees that the men-at-arms are out, and he's not investing heavily into scouts. We saw he only made those 1, 2, 3 additional scouts in addition to his starting scout for a total of 4. Ooh, DauT needs to be careful not to lose a villager down there. Well, it has looms, so could. I don't know if it will how it will do on that fight. TaToH's going to get some uphill attacks. And will that villager survive? It's doing some damage against the scout. DauT's, yeah, he's going to lose that villager there. Rip. DauT letting the scouts in to get some stabs on them with the spearmen. And yeah, now TaToH has to run back, doesn't really have the scouts numbers to do anything. This scout now can't really kill anything, but ooh no, TaToH, don't fight the spearman there. And he'll run away. Anyway, as I was saying, the nice thing is we see TaToH here, he only had like 6 or so farms when he started putting down that archery range, and he didn't invest too heavily into scouts, just now adding an extra one. And basically when you're fighting against men-at-arms and spearmen, you need to get something out that can kill them, and scouts by themselves aren't going to do it. Normally in a scout build, I think the first thing you want to do is throw down about 12 or so farms before switching to a mining camp, and then say archery ranges if you're going scouts archers. But since he saw that the men-at-arms were out, he added that archery range a lot sooner than most people probably would, because it lets him get out these skirmishers a lot sooner, because you need the skirmishers to deal with the spearmen. And he's going for skirmishers here, not for archers, because he only has 50 gold. If you, well, of course, pretty much every game you're going to do loom. He's adding in the blacksmith right now. And if you do loom, you end up with 50 gold. And you need that 50 gold to do fletching. If you trade an archer, that's 45 gold, and you won't be able to do fletching. And it's really important to get that fletching upgrade for that extra range on the skirmishers. He's not taking gold yet, so he won't be able to afford both an archer and the fletching upgrade. So he's going to prioritize doing the fletching upgrade. And nice box formation by him, both on those skirmishers and those scouts. And the real question is he able to focus down those spearmen? As DauT finally, now that he's fighting, waited to add in that men-at-arms upgrade. And he is now adding in a blacksmith and just adding in more farms. Hasn't even added an archery range yet, just fully walled. Is adding in some eagles to deal with the skirmishers. And we'll see how does TaToH transition to deal with this. He now, with scouts and eagles, forcing this army back, is able to take control of his gold. And this is just a really slow army. Neither of them really can take a fight. TaToH can't really engage with the scouts because the spearmen there. DauT can't really engage with the eagles against the skirmishers because the scouts can then come and pick off the eagles. Right now, skirmishers, doing a good job of picking off those spears. The problem is you really need to get all of the spearmen out of the picture before you can fight with the scouts. And good job. Good micro by DauT. Sidestepping the spearmen. TaToH pulling the scouts back, and now the spearman's out of the way, but TaToH only has 3 scouts left, not quite enough to engage. TaToH needs to be careful not to lose those skirmishers as he's sending more skirmishers across the map. So, one range skirmisher, just adding in farms, and DauT. Right now we see him doing horse collar. That's another thing, when you go for men-at-arms, you do want to do the wood cutting upgrade pretty much as soon as you can, but horse collar is something that you delay because you really can't afford it, especially when you're going for that 4 men-at-arms opening. And we see him adding, not an archery range yet, but a double barrack, so he'll probably look to go into eagles, as right now, eagles need to be careful about the scouts, but TaToH, let's see, could this be a good fight for TaToH? Those eagles in there able to do, just able to get in there and push the skirmishers back. Looks like they've done +1. Yeah, the men-at-arm. Yeah, so DauT has the +1 armor from the blacksmith, just trying to tank a bit more skirmisher damage now that TaToH has fletching. But now that the spearmen are out of the picture, DauT's going to be going for 3 barracks even, getting ready to transition into Eagle Warriors, and he'll be putting down a market. TaToH will see that, and he's getting ready to go to the Castle Age. A bit heavy on gold right now, but he will need that later for Eagles. Perhaps he's going to look to buy some food just to click up. And TaToH, meanwhile, still 1 archery range. He'll be up to the Castle Age first. Of course, when you go scouts, you do normally put down those farms a lot sooner than you do if you're going for men-at-arms, so pretty much expected to see him clicking up to the Castle Age first here. And that scout, would love to see DauT just snipe that scout. Surprised TaToH forgot about that scout for so long. Normally you see players at this level still being a bit more active with the scout. Losing that men-at-arms there. Would love to see that 1 scout just sniped off. But now TaToH's main army is still in skirmishers. He's doing bloodlines, so that indicates as he's adding more archers, he'll go for a cav archer transition. So we'll be seeing cav archers versus eagle warriors here. As DauT now up to the Castle Age. I missed it, but I probably did use that market to buy a bit of food. And now he'll need to protect this part of his map. That scout's not going to do too much, and he has enough eagle warriors there that the skirms probably won't be able to do too much damage. And the nice thing is he already has the +1 upgrade, so he can pretty immediately go for the +2 and eagle warrior upgrade. Make these eagle warriors, I think, have a total of 5 pierce armor, so they will be quite tanky indeed. Once you do that upgrade and get to the Castle Age, of course these eagles will train a lot faster, because right now it takes them 1 whole minute to train during the Feudal Age. These eagle scouts indeed train quite slowly. TaToH would like to pressure this gold, but he will probably lose his skirmishers here. Not the biggest loss, because the skirmishers and scouts really won't be useful versus Castle Age eagles anyway. But still, not really that great to waste skirms. Maybe force DauT to lose some palisade health, but not really much he did do there, but probably not too much he could have done there anyway. But now we see already 3 ranges for TaToH, starting to queue up cav archers, immediately bodkin arrow, and let's see, we should be seeing that wood upgrade come from him pretty soon. But these eagles will clean up the skirmishers quite readily. And what is TaToH doing in his economy? Let's see. Hasn't done Bosaw yet, but University. So immediately going for the University. And getting out a Knight too, so Cav Archers from 3 ranges, plus a couple of Knights. Knights can help fighting the Eagles a bit, since the Cav Archers, until you get a critical mass of Cav Archers, it can be difficult to fight Eagles when they have so much armor. So we see DauT already going for a chainmail armor. TaToH's going to push out. Oh, he has a lot of Eagles queued up in those barracks, and pretty important for DauT, he's doing the Squires upgrade to make his Eagles move faster. If you're going to be fighting cavalry units, you need your Eagles to be pretty much as fast as you can get them. You want to be able to chase them down and not continually have to chase after Cav Archers and not catch them. Now, the Cav Archers still will be faster, but it won't be quite as big of an advantage. Eagles with Squires actually quite speedy. And we see, nice job there. Good micro by DauT. Getting a good jump, moving his Eagles in front. Getting some damage on the Cav Archers. And now we see those Eagles pretty speedy. So TaToH has to do husbandry himself to get his cavalry to move faster now. And TaToH building some gates. Now there's nothing better than a good gate from Tati here. Let's spam those Doritos chips to cheer for TaToH gates. This could be another good jump. Ooh, good job by TaToH getting away from those Eagles. And we see that University into ballistics. Tati's still playing on 1 TC, just really wants to get that army count up. He knows DauT's going for 3 barracks Eagles. TaToH can't afford to add in more TCs. Gotta use that stone for gates. Oh, only has 20 stone left. Can't finish off the gates. We'll have to actually use stone wall there. But now DauT with those 2 upgrades, 5 pierce armor, getting right underneath those town centers. And I think this is a really great way to play the Mayans. Just go men-at-arms. You don't even need to add in an archery range. It just provides you a pretty nice transition into Eagle Warriors. TaToH's going to... I couldn't punch up on that hill. Ooh, that's a great fight by DauT. Do so much damage to those Cav Archers. And now TaToH garrisoning the TC, needs to fight underneath it. Has kept his gold safe with the use of a bit of Palisade to go with his gates. Now, ooh, Eagles in the wood as well. TaToH trying to fight with villagers, that's not going to end well. Needs to bring the Cav Archers there to defend. DauT will pick off another villager, and this is a lot of damage here from DauT. Just now doing Bosaw, he had delayed that upgrade so that he could do the upgrades on his Eagle at the start of the Castle Age. And we see he's added in a 2nd town center, so he'll be playing 2 town centers. Hasn't yet taken a big villager lead, but will start to pull ahead a bit from TaToH, who might have 1 more Eagle inside of this wood line, but no, he will palisade that up in time. The villagers are getting a bit inefficient though. But for now, TaToH has managed to push this back. Kind of is able to keep his villagers working again, at least ungarrison that town center. Has enough Cav Archers, he can kind of start to engage against those Eagles. Mainly the advantage here is that the mobility, and he needs to manage to keep them alive. Cav Archers can actually do a pretty good job against Eagles once you get them, once you get a good number of them. And TaToH finally is starting to get that number where he can fight off DauT's Eagles as long as they're, not too massed. And he will clean up that Eagle in the wood line. I don't know how that got in. That looks pretty walled to me. Don't know how that Eagle got in. Anyway, TaToH, the problem for TaToH now is that he has the more mobile army, but he needs to keep it right underneath his town center. DauT can just run around with these Eagles, and if TaToH tries to move out with the Cav Archers, the Eagles either can get to the unprotected part of his base, or can take them out in a straight-up fight. Meanwhile, DauT just booming. No harassment, just booming on 2 town centers. He knows TaToH only has 1, and ooh, adding in even a 4th barracks is going to go really heavy on those Eagles. But still, TaToH doing a good job keeping the Eagles away, getting some kills. Still, we see the KD still pretty even for both players. Just the problem is TaToH isn't able to be walled like DauT is. He just doesn't have quite a wallable map. Could have done some walls up here. Does have his gold walled at least. And let's see, could the Cav Archers get a few more picks on the Eagles? Ooh, DauT even collecting the relics, adding in the monastery. And Siege Workshop. So Monastery Siege Workshop, he might be looking to click to the Imperial Age soon. And yeah, still quite a bit away from that. But now TaToH again retreating to the town center. Able to get a few more kills on the Eagles as I fix the overlay. Just hit my middle mouse button. There we go. Still really close in the KD, but as those military numbers start to climb, TaToH will have more and more cav archers. He'll be able to start taking better fights against the Eagles, as he'll be able to do more damage for the Eagles before the Eagles can move in and start engaging. TaToH also doing a good job using the mobility to keep the cav archers clumped up together. As the Lions trying to get involved. Can the Lion kill that cav archer? Now they gotta run away. The Lion, of course, as an animal, wants to help out the fellow Eagles. Ooh, TaToH kills it before it gets the cav archer. And now these Eagles running into TaToH's eco, and he's trying to move out with these cav archers. He'll need to get another round of cav archers out of these ranges if he wants to defend from those Eagles. And yeah, now with the town center, he'll probably be able to do it. He needs to keep this wood line safe though, as the Eagles are trying to break in. But at the same time, he is trying to get into DauT space. Oh, it looks like there is a hole in that wall. But DauT has a mangonel out, ready and waiting to defend. And we'll have to see if TaToH is able to notice that. TaToH also defending, or DauT also defending with monks in his own base, as TaToH needs to run these cav archers around his town center. Keeping that town center garrison, if you see 16 idle villagers, that's quite a lot. And that mangonel and the monk forcing TaToH back away from DauT's base. But now, trying to come in again. Maybe we'll try to take out the palisade gate, make a bit of a larger hole in the wall. But DauT is now getting a large number of Eagles onto TaToH's wood, forcing TaToH to use 15 of that 20 remaining stone, just build a stone wall behind those palisades. And TaToH really needs to worry about his wood because he is running out of it. Has built another lumber camp, but it's on this really small wood line out here. He's still on 1 TC and is 11 villagers down, has a lot more idle time. Score is still pretty close because of the KD, but I think DauT is in a very dominant position right now. And there we go, TaToH taking out the gate. Is he able to move in? Probably not, because that mangonel. Can that be a good mangonel shot? Ooh, nice shot from DauT. Mangonel doesn't even take any damage. Now TaToH will try to run away, snipe these Eagles, but will be hard to engage with these 2 mangonels there. That is, of course, if DauT protects them properly. And 1 volley of arrows. Second volley will take it out. Ooh, but he does get a nice shot, taking out quite a few cav archers there. Meanwhile, DauT's running around with his Eagles, not really able to do much more harassment now, as TaToH, with around 33 cav archers, starting to get close to that number where he can fight the Eagles pretty confidently with them. But he needs to pay attention. Ooh, nice split to get away from the mangonel. And he'll try to take that out. Mangonel is certainly not nearly as effective against these tankier cav archers as they are against the squishier crossbowmen. Now TaToH, he really wants to run in. You can see he wants to go in. Ooh, taking another big mangonel shot there. Getting a bit greedy trying to camp where that gate is. DauT doing a good job dancing the Eagles on top of the mangonel, forcing TaToH very carefully to right-click the mangonel instead of just automatically targeting, because they'll hit the closer Eagles. Now he'll run back. And at this point he can take a pretty good fight versus the Eagles as long as DauT doesn't come in too surprisingly from behind. Let's see, maybe DauT can debate TaToH into here and then bring the Eagles in from behind. As DauT now has a 20 villager lead, a bit more of a split from TaToH. Trying to run away. He gets another cav archer. The Eagles are coming in, but the cav archers are running back. DauT not really using this army yet, as TaToH's coming forward for a siege workshop. If you look at town centers, DauT is still on 2, but has added a 3rd on 3 town centers over on that side. As TaToH, meanwhile, let's see, he still has not added in a 2nd town center, only on 1 town center, but he has added in more archery ranges. He's going to try to go really heavy on these cav archers. So 1 town center play, kind of forced by the early Eagles from DauT. Now really needs to rely on this large army to push in. That's 38 cav archers. That's enough to deal with Eagles. They only have 55 HP, even if they do have 5 pierce armor. And starting to pick them off. Now TaToH's in a spot where he can start taking pretty good fights. DauT will bring in some eagles from behind, but needs to be careful to keep the armies together enough that these eagles don't get lost. And now TaToH finally able to run in, trying to split his army up into two groups. He'll try to take out the mangonel, but the villager is there to repair it. Won't get it off another shot. Ooh, and he could even lose a second mangonel down here for free. He has the farmers there to repair it though. Will get off a shot before it goes down at least. But the eagles will clean up those cav archers. Now the cav archers on the hill. Running through the eagles, and then, running back. That was painful to watch. Eagles getting a lot more kills than they probably should have there. Now TaToH trying to clump them up on the top of the hill so the eagles can't take a good fight. But meanwhile, DauT's eagles chasing the other army so they can't do much damage. And TaToH on the hill, but his army's kind of split up. Doesn't really have quite the numbers he needs. Still has the KD advantage, but his army will go down. Out here with the mangonel, but can't protect it. Those eagles should be able to take it out, but nope, they stopped running at it. Let's see, TaToH will clean up the eagles on that hill, but the problem is DauT is up to the Imperial Age, and let's see, TaToH nowhere close to Imperial yet. So TaToH now has to do a ton of damage before DauT gets up. If DauT gets to Elite Eagle Warriors, cav archers only in the Castle Age won't really be able to do much to it. TaToH adding in scale barding. Might look to switch a bit more into knights or some more raiding units so we can kind of camp underneath those town centers a bit better. But the problem is TaToH did have a large enough mass of cav archers to deal with eagles. Now that number has dropped a bit, it's going to be harder for him to fight. Starting to get back up to it again though, adding in a forward stable. We'll see what is he adding in there. Some knights. So we'll see a cav archer knight combination, which is pretty much the two of the strongest units in the Castle Age. But they will be fighting Imperial Age Elite Eagles. And once the Mayans, once any Mesosev really gets up to the Imperial Age, they can so quickly add in that Eagle upgrade. And let's see, can this be a good fight? The Eagles are going to come from behind, try to close the gap. TaToH needs to run away. Ooh, stopping a bit too much there, letting the Eagles catch up. See how important that Squire's upgrade is for DauT on these Eagles. And TaToH still one town center, investing everything he has into these cav archers, using the knights to come forward and try to pick off the mangonels. Doesn't look like DauT has any monks left. This should be a good fight for TaToH as he picks off some eagles up here, and we'll be able to pick off one mangonel there. Can he get the second? DauT trying to bring a villager. Oh, nope, not going to repair. Gets one, manages to do a lot of damage to the second, but it still gets off a nice shot. Kills the cav archer. And now 3 mangonels versus cav archers. Oh, but DauT mostly misses those shots. TaToH going for the split. DauT is up to Imp, trying to pick off the mangonels, but the eagles are there, forcing the cav archers back. It's so tough to fight both of them at the same time. And nice, ooh, even outpost from TaToH. I like that. Always nice to add in these forward outposts. Gives you a bit more line of sight. Especially important when you're doing these mangonel fights. With that 7 range, you really want to see them coming. But now Elite Eagle and Plate Mail armor both coming in for DauT, and these eagles are about to get much, much tankier. See, DauT will lose a couple of villagers as TaToH is running around trying to get some villager picks. Pretty good TC placement from DauT though, not really going to be able to harm those gold miners. Knight picking off another mangonel. But at this point, TaToH only at 24 military against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 barracks from DauT. You can even just sell that wood for some more gold to keep making those eagles. And once he's able to get out a good number of eagles, he should be able to take these fights pretty well. We see now Elite Eagle, 8 Pierce Armor, 60 HP, against cav archers that have only 8 attack, so they'll be doing 1 damage per arrow. And there is the GG from TaToH. He knows DauT's just too far ahead at this point. Alright, so that was the first kind of 4 men-at-arms versus Scouts Wreck that we saw. Let's see, so DauT, we saw making the Spearman before that men-at-arms upgrade. TaToH going for the early archery range into skirms, kind of to fight that off. And then DauT going for the blacksmith market to click up, adding in more barracks and some eagles in the Castle Age. So let's now jump into this next game. And do we still have the same colors? Yes, okay, good. DauT is now in the Cyans, but Hugh will be playing as the Huns, and our Doritos chip TaToH will be playing in the red as the Mayans. So now it's TaToH's turn to go for the 4 men-at-arms as the Mayans against the Huns scouts. Now, kind of unfortunate for oh, I don't know why TaToH ran his scout around the town center instead of going straight for the goats. Normally you want to go straight for the goats because then you can have them scouting for longer. Maybe just kind of getting used to adjusting to that one goat being under the TC to start with. But anyway, ooh, these are some really nice zebra. King of the Desert 2 Arabia gives you such a nice zebra to push. But anyway, we'll be seeing DauT. Ooh, just missing those goats. There we go, he's going to find them. Now it's time for DauT Scouts against TaToH Men-at-Arms. Just speed things up a bit through the Dark Age. It'll be pretty much the same build we saw last game. We'll see main gold. A pretty safe location for TaToH actually. He'll be able to take wood. See 4 on wood. Taking the boar. Kind of walling up. I do like that he's building 2 houses with this villager. You're seeing this a lot more now. That especially when you put 4 on wood, you don't need to make 1 house and have the villager walk to berries and build a 2nd house later. You can just position the villager in a real nice spot for a wall and build 2 houses right away. And DauT, meanwhile, is the Huns. You know, pretty standard. Let's see, 3 on wood, 4 on berries, rest on the hunt. Hasn't taken the 2nd boar yet. Hopefully he remembers to do that. Sometimes, sometimes DauT forgets those things. He is DauT, of course. Right now, TaToH taking in that 2nd boar. Nice having lots of villagers on the boar. 8 right now, we'll have 9 as that hunter comes in. Getting some damage on DauT's scout. That's really important if you can damage the scout before the men-at-arms fight. And see, he's found all of his goats. DauT's going to attack a house. No zebra pushing from TaToH, so just a basic men-at-arms build, no zebra pushing. Looks like, ooh, DauT actually did manage to lure in a couple of zebra. Looks like that might be a zebra carcass behind the boar there. I don't know, are there any zebra left around DauT's base? No, DauT actually pushed in 3 zebra. And we see this game, in contrast to TaToH last game, DauT's actually adding in this 2nd lumber camp. I realize the spec overlay isn't on. Let me turn that on. There we go. Oh, now the technologies are going to be all messed up because I didn't turn that on right at the start. That happens sometimes when you load games, it doesn't keep the overlay on. Anyway, hopefully these techs won't be too bad. As DauT is moving out onto the wood, we see him with about, 9 villagers on wood. Still, again, no farms, using those zebra to go up 20 population. Doesn't need to add in any farms. And where is he adding in his barracks? Adding in his barracks kind of by his wood line again, too. I don't know if this is something the tyrants are really doing on purpose against men-at-arms, putting the barracks by their wood line. But both players now have been doing that. We'll probably look to wall this up, kind of keep it safe. Really wants to control that gold near it, too. That's the nice thing for, I guess for both players, really, is that their gold's in really safe locations. See, TaToH needs to be careful of that villager. He saw DauT, went up, decided, I'm going to run that villager back, not going to lose it to that feudal age scout. As he's been queuing those militia as he goes up. And pretty much the same thing. About 6 villagers on wood. 2 villagers on gold, just added that 3rd there. 4 on berries, and the rest has built 1 farm. I guess that's the main difference. He did build 1 farm maybe a bit sooner, but not too big of a difference. As we see DauT pretty much immediately into the stable, knows that TaToH's going for men-at-arms, and we see TaToH, again, doing the spearmen before the men-at-arms upgrade. As TaToH's adding in the blacksmith. Really early to add in the blacksmith. That's kind of interesting to me. Would think he might want to prioritize adding in farms first. We'll have to see if he does a blacksmith upgrade there. Up he is housed for a bit though. And now with that spearman, TaToH doesn't even really need to worry about fighting the scouts until DauT's able to get out some units to kill the spearmen, but he's doing that already, as we see only 1, 2, 3 farms, and already putting up the archery range really early. Really wants to get those skirmishes out so we can deal with the spearmen. Now the nice thing about men-at-arms is that you force your opponent off of berries here. Now that's, if you're going against someone who's making scouts, one of the nicest things you can do with men-at-arms is deny berries. TaToH is kind of running away. Ooh, will DauT get the quick wall up? Oh, no, yes, he did it. Oh, he almost misclicked, but he got it. Oh, DauT. Yeah, nice box formation on the men-at-arms too from TaToH. As we see, no more spearmen for him, just that one as he's going to be making eagles. And he has done the +1 armor. That's interesting. Both these players kind of going for that really early +1 armor on their men-at-arms and spearmen units. I guess that does probably make a huge difference versus the skirmishers, as without fletching, the skirmishers are doing only 1 damage. But now we see DauT doing stuff a bit differently. Instead of putting down the blacksmith and going for fletching, oh, he didn't even do loom yet. That was a, oh wait, no, he did do loom. That's just the overlay bugging out on me. Never mind. I forgot to turn that on earlier. But we see DauT going towards the gold because it's really safe. And instead of playing purely skirmishers like TaToH did, he's going to be playing for archers. Now the nice thing about the archers is they're going to do a much better job of dealing with these feudal eagles than the skirmishers did. But saying that, they're only going to be doing 3 damage until fletching comes in. And ooh, could be a bit out of position here. But of course these eagles without squires are not quite as fast as you'd like them to be. That eagle kind of glitching out there a bit. DauT manages to get those archers away. And focusing the spearmen. Some good micro there. And now focusing, interesting is focusing the eagle and not the men-at-arms. But I guess that's the thing that's in front too. But I think that these men-at-arms are capable of doing a lot more damage to the scouts. And that's the thing, TaToH, even without spearmen, really can't fight with the scouts, needs to keep, or DauT rather, can't fight with the scouts, needs to keep running them away. Need to remember the players switched. But still, TaToH can't fight underneath the archers, and both of them, that says feudal age now. That probably actually means nothing. Alright. See, getting in. TaToH just has to keep running away. Now, he's safely walled at home, building a tower even on his gold, keep it extra protected. But he will, DauT will clean up these eagles, and now look to start pressuring TaToH, but he won't be able to. TaToH double wall down here, adding in some houses to complete this wall here, tower on the gold, and he will be completely safe. Even adding in some extra walls by that wood, has a second lumber camp really safe in the back, so even if DauT does try to pressure here, he has a backup location where he can still continue to collect wood. And now let's see, 2 archery ranges, continuing to add in some archers. Does he have a blacksmith yet? Yes, he does. And does he have fletching? Yeah, he's finally done fletching after that blacksmith. And we see DauT getting really close to clicking up to the castle age, but TaToH already there. Has pretty much not invested into much army since those initial men-at-arms. These eagles, I think they only cost 20 food each, so they're not too much of an investment. And we see he is now starting to click up to the castle age despite what the incorrect technology overlay says. And DauT will try to break through this wall up here by the lumber camp. Use the archers to get through, but TaToH at least has houses there. And those houses have quite a bit of HP. Even going for a gate. TaToH does love those gates of his. And now he will be adding in more barracks, so it's now TaToH's turn to go 3 barracks eagles versus DauT's army. The big difference here, DauT had transitioned into archers a lot sooner. So he will have probably a better crossbowman upgrade and a better way to fight eagles early on in the castle age. And we probably won't see him. He is adding in 3 ranges, but we probably won't need to see him go for that 1 TC Cav Archer play like TaToH had to do. He'll have a better army composition as he gets up into the Castle Age. And now TaToH is up, but he can't take an engagement yet just because DauT has so many archers out on the field. And DauT's about to get up to the Castle Age too, but he's running his archers back. The nice thing about having the archers forward means that TaToH has to keep the eagles back to deal with them, instead of being at DauT's base harassing. Now DauT can just run the archers back before Squires comes in. I'll have to keep an eye on TaToH's barracks now, as he's adding in more eagle warriors. And DauT now has a bunch of crossbowmen, but will he go forward or to bring them back to engage the eagles? He sees the eagles are there, and yeah, he's coming back, wants to engage those eagles, doesn't want eagles running around his economy. Again, we see the Quick University going for ballistics, but here's the big difference this game. DauT is able to add a second town center. And we'll see ballistics immediately for DauT, so 3 range Cav Archers, ballistics, bloodlines coming in at the stable for the extra HP on the Cav Archers. And now these eagles will have a difficult time harassing things. Can maybe get into the wood, but yeah, TaToH has to run away. Can't really take a fight underneath the town center. There's another eagle running around down here just doing some scouting. But DauT's base is right now pretty safe. Just a good town center location, good bit of walling behind it. Could have just walled out here instead, but now DauT will be on 1-2 and adding in a 3rd town center. Those crossbows giving him the power to defend against the eagles really early in the Castle Age. That's what TaToH pretty much was lacking last game, where he had to go so heavy into those Cav Archers. But now TaToH also adding in 3 town centers of his own. We'll see this game turn more into a boom game instead of that really aggressive eagle play like we saw last game. Let's see, can these crossbows hit anything? Not really. TaToH really walled here. Has TC here, adding in a siege workshop of his own. So we're probably not going to see much damage coming from the crossbows. DauT's Cav Archers are forward. And the question is, will DauT have enough to defend against these eagles that are now coming into his base? As the overlay tells us that TaToH is once again up to the Castle Age. And eagles being forced back by that 3rd town center. Nice TC placement there from DauT. Now TaToH is through. He can stop TaToH from taking wood there, but can't really push in. See, Cav Archer is doing a bit of damage to the archery range. We'll try to chase down the eagles, do some damage from behind. DauT going to try to head off the eagles with this group of Cav Archers, but was a bit late in moving them over. And if we just check the upgrades, that's +2 attack, +1 defense versus +2 defense and the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Now the Mangonel coming out. DauT just needs to make sure that he's fighting the Cav Archers versus the Mangonel and not the crossbows. With only 35 HP, the Mangonel does 40 attack. You want the 70 HP crossbows being the things to tank the Mangonel fire, not the squishy crossbows. And let's see, eagles. Neither player really able to engage. DauT doesn't want to take Mangonel fire. TaToH doesn't want to run forward and lose eagles. And where's he going to go with the eagles? DauT is still massing up even more Cav Archers. We see that military count. DauT's ahead by 20 military. And if we look at, let's see, resources gathered, also pretty far ahead in wood. TaToH has been going for stone. Looks like, of course, the Mayans probably will want to get up a castle, maybe switch into Plumed Archers at some point. And if I can get this table back to the... Oh, I was there, and then I missed it. No, back. Back. I feel like scrolling the mouse wheel just randomly changes the table instead of putting it at the right value. But, anyway, DauT is moving in with Cav Archers, going to fight underneath the tower, kill a few villagers. take a hit from the mangonel. We'll have the crossbowmen in the back. Nice, you really want the cav archers in front, crossbows in the back, so the cav archers can do a bit of tanking. And there we go, got it. As the mangonel goes down and the cav archers run in, they'll pick off the rest of the villagers on that gold. He does have some other gold, so not too big of a deal, but he is now 20 villagers behind. Has to bring in another mangonel from the front, and DauT is going to try and run into Tati's base with the cav archers. Still continuing to pick off the eagles. Gets the crossbows in underneath the tower. Now he needs to be really careful. Those crossbowmen do not have the health or the mobility of the cav archers. Could lose them to that mangonel from behind. And TaToH get a big shot. Ooh, looks like that was decent. Another maybe decent shot, but mangonel goes down. But the eagle warriors have cleaned up all the cav archers. DauT will lose all of this army here. And he did do a good deal of damage to TaToH, but now the military count is so far down. TaToH did a great job cleaning that up. And now, does he have the numbers of the cav archers to deal with this? Probably not underneath the tower, even with the +1 armor. TaToH can just kind of run the eagles around, let DauT take some damage from the tower. And you see him trying to position the cav archers under the tower. He's going to run in one more time. And, ooh, nice wall there from TaToH. Ungarrisoning the tower, getting the wall up, so the cav archers can't run out, or reinforcements can't come in. And now the eagles probably can just come underneath the tower and clean up those cav archers. Doesn't need to do it immediately. The main problem is now, not only is TaToH down by 20 villagers, he also has a lot more idols. And, ooh, he's building a castle. That's another thing these aggressive cav archers do. Force TaToH to put the castle here, in the middle of his base instead of something more aggressive. Now TaToH, DauT is maybe halfway to imp. TaToH is already up. And we'll see, does he have Elite Eagle? Doesn't have Elite Eagle queued yet, but he does have, he's almost at the resources for it. Yeah, there we go. Elite Eagle Warrior coming in. And where's his blacksmith? Hasn't been doing the armor upgrade yet. Oh, there we go. TaToH has a forward castle. Didn't see that earlier. I was paying attention at the bottom of the map. So good awareness by TaToH to get this castle up on this hill on his forward gold. Ooh, you pay attention to the eagles. There we go. He'll pull off those cav archers. His base is now safe. And now, kind of the Eagle Warrior Plumed Archer combination, if he does decide to add in plumes, that's a pretty good combination from the Mayans. Really good at killing cav archers. Not as good versus, say, the Nightline or Heavy Cavalry, although it still can be pretty effective versus them. Now, another barracks going up, so TaToH will continue going into eagles. Can at some point do the El Dorado upgrade, but does really want to do that final blacksmith upgrade first. That El Dorado upgrade will, of course, increase the hit points of the eagles from 60 to 100. And now TaToH will come in at the top of the map and raid DauT's woodlines and his town centers. But does he really have enough eagles here to do something? We'll cause some idle time, pick off a couple villages, but there's enough knights there with an upgrade on their attack they can hit the eagles. Now DauT trying to sneak some cav archers down here at the bottom. But TaToH is double walled. They will get through there, but will take a bit of time. As TaToH is trying to run some more eagles forward, wants to just keep the eagles inside of DauT's economy, idle the villagers. But DauT now with Cavalier will probably be able to fend these off pretty easily. And DauT is on how many TCs? 1, 2, 3, 4 town centers. So with a much stronger economy, able to tech into those Cavalier. As TaToH is continuing to add in more barracks. Mayans do of course have access to the Halberdier upgrade, so TaToH might be wanting to make that switch at some point. Not really adding in any plumed archers. He probably knows that they're not going to be too effective versus the Cavalier, so he wants to just stay full on into eagles. He's trying to get a bit more HP behind those walls. Use that tower to defend, even deletes the house to go for stone walls. But DauT has the cav archers there, trying to keep this open, but TaToH will sacrifice those villagers. Those stone walls do build pretty quickly. That one even has 850 HP. And TaToH, can he bring these eagles in to fight? See, is he doing El Dorado in either of these castles? He is. He's doing it there. He really wants to get that El Dorado upgrade finished before these eagles can fight. And he's just going to sacrifice villagers to wall, but the Cavaliers, slowly but surely, they're breaking in. Uses one eagle to kind of lure them away if DauT's not paying attention there. But now he comes in, gets that El Dorado upgrade, is able to take a pretty good fight here. But DauT's just so far ahead. Will he be able to come back? Now let's see, TaToH, ooh, going for the extra gold at the top of the map. Kind of, I guess, hoping that DauT isn't going to scout that. But DauT knows that a gold is there, and he has probably palisade scanned or like tried to put a mining camp or TC of his own, seeing that TaToH is there, and he's sending all of his Cavalier up there, right to that gold. They'll clean up that TC, no problem. TaToH, ooh, dealing with a skirmisher down at the bottom of the map, but that's not much of a problem for him. DauT trying to get up a castle out here to protect his secondary gold. Has some Cavalier there, but maybe this could be a DauT castle. At least we'll lose a few villages before the rest of these Cavalier come in. And does TaToH have enough eagles to take that fight? I don't quite know how elite eagles do versus Cavalier, but it looks like DauT has the numbers there to force TaToH away. We'll pick off a few Cavaliers that split off and fight them on the hill, but DauT finally will get the castle up as TaToH has to run away. And DauT has cleaned that up at the top, building his own town center there. And we see now 5 barracks, 6 barracks even for TaToH, just going to spam these elite eagles. They are now fully upgraded. And DauT adding in a scout, some Cavalier. Let's see, how are DauT's resources? He might be looking to do Paladin at some point. Hasn't queued that up yet. Have to check that myself because of this bugged overlay. But now, ooh, here, TaToH is open. DauT's not taking a good fight with these Cavalier up there, but what he is doing is luring the eagles north away from TaToH's base, while at the same time he's trying to run in, will kill the walling villager. TaToH's still chasing the Cavalier with his eagles towards the top of the map. Probably now will be his turn to clean up DauT's town center, and manages to keep that army out of his base. See, DauT almost has enough stone for another castle. TaToH's just going to be on those two. And now TaToH, it's his turn to kill DauT's town center, secure this extra gold, and he'll clean up these few Cavalier. Still does have a really good kill-death ratio. Especially with these eagles being cheaper than the Cavalier, that's a good thing to have. And we see the scores starting to get a bit closer. TaToH with the lesser economy, but he is the Mayans. He doesn't need as big of an economy as the Huns do. Let's see, DauT. He has plate parting. What upgrade is he actually doing? Oh, there we go, I just saw it. The Paladin upgrade coming in for DauT. Don't often see that in a 1v1, but with this many Cavalier, with this castle here to secure the other extra gold, he's going to use it to fight the eagles. Now, eagles, much better against Cavalier than they are against Paladin, and TaToH probably will have to add in Halberdier at this point. As the eagles are getting pushed back a bit. TaToH still does have the much larger army. He's getting out some spearmen. We'll be looking to upgrade them to halbs right now. Unfortunately, losing the spearmen before the upgrade comes in. Oh, but now, one little hole. DauT is running his paladin into TaToH's base. TaToH had his eagles up here, trying not to fight yet until he could get the halbs out. But DauT taking advantage of that one little gap in the palisade, running into his base. Now TaToH has 14 idle villagers, and already is pretty low on food. Problem is now DauT has to fight under a town center, a castle, a tower, and a scorpion against all of these eagles. And what's going to happen to DauT's army? Will it be cleaned up? TaToH had deleted these walls to let his army in, but now DauT's going to run more paladin through that hole. But this is a really, really good fight for TaToH here, cleaning up all of DauT's army. Did force a bit of idle time, but now DauT, so low on military, only half of TaToH's military numbers. Really great engagement there by TaToH, forcing these Cavalier, or Paladin, forcing them away. Problem is DauT has control of not just one, but two of the extra golds, and if you look at relics, 3-1 in favor of TaToH, so there's still this one relic down here. TaToH has scouted. Ooh, he's going to pick it up. So TaToH, great job collecting the relics. DauT hasn't really been paying too much attention to them, it seems. But now DauT with a few more paladin. Is he going to fight or run in? See, TaToH now. Halberdier upgrade. Once he gets that upgrade, he'll be in a much better position to deal with the paladin. And TaToH's going to come up here to deal with that castle, it looks like. As he goes to pick up that last relic. He's making trebs, making halbs and eagles. Going up to the castle, kind of low on population, down by about 20, 30 population. But he is right now producing, trying to make that up. Huge difference in villagers, but TaToH, of course, is the Mayans. DauT will be forced to repair that castle. Now he can't engage this army up here. Would love to snipe those trebs with the paladin, but with all those halbs, DauT can't. Instead, where are these paladin running? To the barracks? No, they are running away. DauT sees he can't fight there. And this castle will go down. But ooh, now DauT is running into TaToH's eco with not just one, but two groups of paladin. That one monk not going to get enough conversions. Ooh, TaToH does pay attention enough to save it in the town center. But TaToH did not re-wall this right here at all for those paladins. They're going to take out that town center pretty quickly. As force the villagers out, Halberdier come in, but now DauT has two groups of paladin raiding TaToH's base. Will he just run away now? Looks like it. Or no, DauT's going to fight. He's going to fight the Halberdier underneath the castle with the paladin. And he has the numbers here. Now, he did lose this castle and is kind of losing control of those extra golds up here, but he is into TaToH's economy. And those villager numbers now starting to drop. TaToH doesn't even have the Halberdier numbers he needs. DauT's losing Paladin, but at the same time he's running Paladin into TaToH's economy. So many exposed villagers in the back here. Nothing TaToH really can do to save them. He can try to run them to the town centers, run them into the castle. But DauT will get quite a few kills here with those Paladin. Will cause lots of idle time. TaToH already was really low on villagers. That number is just going to continue to drop. TaToH now has to bring his army back. Can't continue pushing on the front like he was. DauT reclaims that extra gold. And yeah, just running Paladin into TaToH's economy. We see him down to about 63 villagers. Ooh, even going to lose more villagers on that woodline. More Paladin coming at the top from DauT, who could snipe the trebs. But now that's going to be a very, very difficult loss to come back from for TaToH. Just didn't quite have the walls he needed at his own base to move out with his army like he was. Now we see DauT with complete control of the map. Now a couple eagles up here doing some harassment, but those paladin will clean that up. And now he is just at the spam as many halps as you can to try to survive. Point, but 24 idols. Really can't ungarrison them from the town centers, they will just die to paladin. These halbs and eagles not quite mobile enough to be all over TaToH's base like DauT is. DauT finally has the larger military numbers. This town center will go down. And more paladin just continuing to be spawned and thrown into this base by DauT. Nice move by TaToH to save the trebs, but not able to save his economy. And now things are looking, they were looking pretty positive for TaToH there as he was pushing, but now looks pretty done for him. As that monastery is up, some eagles still chasing the paladin around the back of his base. Maybe speed things up a tiny bit. Those last few paladin going down. Oh, now DauT is pushing forward with his own castle. Even going to take TaToH's wood, who even has a second castle there. Will he be making trebs? Yeah, he's making at least a treb out of that castle. Adding in even more forward stable, still with the gold to create paladin. TaToH bringing these trebuchets back. TaToH killing a few more units, but he was in the lead in that KD for a bit. Now he is down. TaToH will use his trebs, kept them alive. We'll try to fight off DauT's castle here. The paladin are going to get up there, Or nope. Oh, there we go. More Paladin coming in from the rear. These Paladin will be able to snipe the Trebs, but nope, not going to engage there. Or now they are. DauT is on top of those Trebs. There we are. They are taken out. And I think this is pretty much it for TaToH. I don't really see a way for him to come back with only not even 70 vills. It is quite a lot of halbs, but they just can't match the mobility of those Paladin. Ooh, nice little sneaky TC down here. DauT actually hasn't scouted that. We'll probably see the chopped wood there. And now TaToH's other castle. 2 Trebs firing at it. Has to repair with villagers, but really doesn't even have that many vills nearby that can repair it. Looks like that will go down pretty quickly. See, will DauT. Not another Treb, but I won't say TaToH trying to defend the Trebs of his own, but great job repairing the trebuchets by DauT. And it looks like he will be actually switching focus to kill that Treb instead of the castle. And now some light cav from DauT, just still kind of low on population, not really at the 200 mark, but enough to cause some chaos in this economy. Oh no, could TaToH lose that Treb? And now he's going to use the halbs to keep the Paladin away. We'll keep this castle up for a long time. Is still doing some raiding on that extra gold with the Eagles. Starting to come up to this part of the map, but if DauT just gets some light cav there, that will just utterly destroy those villagers. And let's see, also all of this back here not working. A little sneak town center. TaToH managing to stay alive just by those little sneaky moves that he's done. And will that castle finally go down? Yes, it does. And some light cav running through the base. Ooh, now the skirmishers. DauT with skirmishers to do some more damage to the halbs. Can't kill them with the Paladin, but can with the skirms. Let's see, DauT has found the sneaky lumber camp from TaToH up there, and there's the GG from TaToH. So, let's look at those achievements real quick. We see, look at these technology stats. 924, pretty good time for 20 pop scouts. 1017, pretty good time for Mayans 23 pop men-at-arms. Could be a bit faster though, the best you can do is like 1005, but that's still pretty good. Bigger economy for DauT. Even with the relic gold, TaToH couldn't hold up. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. A few couple different games showing different variations on the 4 men-at-arms as the Mayans versus Scouts gameplay. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.